So before we can get into the course, before we can start talking about technique, before we can start analyzing what's going on with our dogs, the first thing that we need to understand is what is resource guarding. I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there on the internet that, resource guarding is a dog that's afraid of losing things. Resource guarding is a dog that's anxious. Resource guarding is a dog that was abused. A lot of that is not necessarily true. Now, you may have an abused dog who is a resource guarder, fearful dog who's a resource guarder, an anxious dog who is a resource guarder, but we have to keep in mind what resource guarding actually is. It is a forward and dominant claim of a resource, okay? So you might have a fearful dog who's also resource guarding, but they're not usually fearfully resource guarding. I hope that makes sense because it requires a very dominant forward attitude to be able to claim something from someone else. So in that particular moment, you may have a fearful dog, but in that particular moment, your dog is being very forward and saying, "This is mine." Okay, so we need to think of resource guarding as that very intentional claiming of an object, a person, an area, etc., where the dog is saying, "This is mine and you can't have it." And resource guarding can kind of present itself in a lot of different ways. In the beginning, sometimes it can just be a dog that kind of puts itself between you and the resource, puts itself between a dog and the resource, etc. It might be a dog that, flickers its lips a little bit when you kind of get near something. It might be a dog that full on lunges and growls or whatever it is, but you have to understand that it is a forward. It's not retreating. It is a forward dominant attempt to control something, okay? And so in order for us to address resource guarding, we have to find a way that is a nice, healthy balance between trust and discipline as we work through this dog, because the dog is having some trust issues, the dog is having some discipline issues, and the hierarchy and the ranking within the home is all out of whack, okay? So if we understand that going into the rest of the course, what resource guarding it is and what the mindset is while a dog is resource guarding, it's gonna help us kind of move forward in a more healthy direction when we want to actually eliminate it.